morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scouser's Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser. It is a Monday morning, so Grumpy is here in full effect. It is Grumpy. It's like nasty outside with all this rain and stuff like that. I'm sure even you have it all the way out there. And Matush is with us. What's happening?
Just a bit of rain. Not much. It's nice to have the rainy day. It's been ridiculously hot, I feel, and just muggy. So it's nice to have that and an excuse not to have to water the garden and the plants.
That's the only thing. I don't know about the other one, but yeah, that is the only thing. I was like, don't have to touch the grass, don't have to touch the garden. So that's all good. But it has like a good morning, everybody, as everybody gathers around. It does kind of have like this is how it feels to live in England, for example. Like, it's just like, I didn't even know it was, I woke up and the alarm went off. I'm like, there must be something wrong because the room was pretty dark still for a summer 8 o'clock in the morning kind of a deal, but it is pretty darn gray outside. So okay, so we were both on the post match from the weekend. We kind of had our overreaction to the game. Have you had even more overreactions since that ended?
No, because I'm not going to let myself go down that hole. I think that's
come on, the water is great.
You just said you hated the water. I don't know. I don't understand you. You want it to rain. You don't want it to rain. You want it to be wet. You don't want it to be wet. Yeah, I think especially, in the Discord yesterday, we had some people talking about the Endo situation, and it's just really difficult to make a whole ton of sense out of what the pieces that we have right now and what it looks like. I understand, like you mentioned, you going down the big Feyenoord slot hole and seeing exactly how everything how all of his systems shape up and how Endo doesn't fit in that system and this and that. But yeah, I think it's just a lot to try and take in after the very first preseason game of his career for Liverpool.
That's fair. I think I already had that in the back of my head after watching all those videos and stuff like that. That's funny because, like I say, like as we were watching it, like Angie, let me fix my wall here. Angie was like, the first one we watched was like a 20-minute or something like that video showing a lot of footage and stuff like that. And the first thing we said was like, well, that sounds awfully like Mac for the defensive midfielder. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how it fits. And my point of view was like, I don't even know how, like, Fabinho would work in that system, like what he wants kind of a thing. But, Fabinho still had that Brazilian thing going and stuff like that in terms of the touch. But I still think, and it kind of almost got confirmed, if you will, as I was watching it, that I just don't know how Endo fits what I think after watching all that slot once out of the 6. But could be wrong. Endo had a bad game on top of, like, I think what's regular. Because it just, even defensively, he was poor. Like, he was like overrunning things and stuff like that. So he just had a poor game overall. I know defensively he would be a lot better and stuff, but I still think everybody out here saying we need a 6, has a vision of Fabinho at the 6, and I really don't think that's what he's looking for. So he says, can't judge these players on one preseason game on crappy pitches. What are you talking about? They even added that side over there, so it was wide enough. I'm hoping for more penetration. Oh, that's all you, Sparky. Don't want this overpassing shit. Well, I got news for you. I think if we saw anything, Mitush, that we saw that there's not going to be as much penetration. There's going to be a lot of passing around.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit like Pep Light, if you will, in the terms of possession-based. But I will say for the goal that came from Neoni to Sobo, that was a really quick 4-pass movement there. So I think maybe there is going to be a lot of this back and forth possession base, but I think there will be moments where kind of that is used to potentially lull the other team to sleep a bit, and then use that moment or two to take those few passes and cut through the way that they did for that goal. But yeah, I think quickly going back to your point of Endo and Fabinho, and I think, it's really easy for people who maybe have not been used to seeing this club under any other manager or this club under any other system, anything like that. It's really hard to envision to try and think of a DM that isn't Fabinho, because that's who is in your head always. So when you think Liverpool, you think Fabinho. But as people who have watched for many, many decades, or have gone through many different managers, have gone through many different systems, we know that it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. And I think based on what you were saying, he's going to be a good veteran presence to have, but he might just not be perfect for the system, and that's okay, you guys. Like, we can still enjoy the player and recognize that the system might not be the best. The only thing that gives me some resolve is that Slot said that he didn't have a 9 to play with. So I don't know if you have that 9, if that does change a little bit of what the system could look like for Endo. I can't imagine it'd be too much of a change, but you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of took that as, like you didn't use Mo where you thought you would, or like the way you thought you would maybe. I mean, that's another thing. There's so many people missing and so many key important people missing with probably guaranteed spots that it's kind of hard to judge what we're seeing, but it is going to be possession based. I don't know about like Southgate's England, because it's not possession, I think, for possession's sake either. Similar to, like, I guess, City in that sense, like you're passing to kind of keep creating spaces. And the one that Neoni finds, I think, is just basically, as people are shifting around, you're going to have those spaces. And I think that's why it's important that all those midfielders have to be quick with the ball, has to be able to do the one-touch pass, have to be able to control well, and not need a lot of space to be able to operate. And that does not spell Endo for me. Ryan says, I'm okay with Endo. I just need another that can be a starter. And that's the thing, Endo I was okay with all along. I did not want him as a starter, and I always envisioned him as this guy coming in the 70th minute to close out games. Milner-like in that sense, where comes in, puts a couple of hard tackles, gets his yellow cards, and then the game is over. We all walk away kind of thing. So highline defense is now a thing of the past. I don't know. See, that's another thing, too early to tell, but I thought it was still pretty darn high. And I noticed the press is still there. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, both
crowding the ball is still there.
Yeah. Both of those elements were still, maybe not as high as before, but, and also good chance that those 4 are not starting the first game of the Premier League against Ipswich. You could argue that the back 4 will be Robbo, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent, potentially. So there's a chance that not even any of those guys that we saw would be there. So I don't know if it's more so just the personnel that you have more than anything against Betis. So I hate that we're gonna keep talking about this and say, well, I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see in about 3 weeks or so. We really won't know until the end of August, when the transfer window closes, to really get a good idea of what the hell this all looks like. We'll have seen 2 games in the Premier League, and that will be it. And then we'll go, okay, this is kind of what we're going for.
Yeah.
Yikes until January, or great, let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting season, that's for sure. I just don't know what to expect, good or bad. Part of me says it's going to be rough and it's going to take some time. Part of me says, I mean, I've said it before too, like, these guys did not have their best season last year. So maybe if you can get the best out of 3-4 guys, this team will be flying, because it was doing well without people in good form, essentially. But so Groundhog, the sense of it, eating my garden. You said you have a garden as well, right?
Correct.
Any animal problems in yours?
No, because it's a raised garden. Stepdad built us a raised bed to make our garden.
How raised is raised?
Like 3.5, 4 feet.
Oh, goddamn. Okay. That is
yeah. Like I don't really have to bend over too much to do any of it, which is fantastic.
I mean, it's a Prince way of guys. It's a Prince Gardens, if you will, of Schaumburg.
I mean, no, I would just have someone else pick all the weeds for me, but yeah, it's really nice because it's comfortable, and I can see everything at a decent level. Some of the bugs can still get up there annoyingly, but no rodents, which is good.
We never have groundhogs. We had a groundhog 2 years ago, I think. I mean, I never seen him in person. I just hold like a freaking like the hole, and I just blocked the hole. So the next day, when he came up, he was probably like hit the head and like, God damn it, who put that block up there? And then we've never seen him since. It's not like he made another hole and stuff. Squirrels.
Steal them.
You think so? I mean, he probably just dug a hole the other way around and came out from somebody else's lawn, is what I was hoping. I mean, for his sake at least. But I didn't get a slingshot out. Like, just go around like a cartoon character chasing like freaking groundhogs like Ryan over here. But no, squirrels are a problem, and I just this weekend I read about a secret potion I can spray on the garden because the asshole eats tomatoes for some reason, and then he will find the best ones. Like, you know, like how you say you're like, oh, that's going to be a good one. He says the same thing, but of course he doesn't eat it while it's green either. He kind of waits till it's done.
Oh yeah,
and then he'll take a nibble on it and just walk away. Yeah, so
and it looks perfect. And you're like, oh god, yes. You go to grab it, you pull it off the stem, you look at it, you turn around, you go, what the fuck? Yeah. Every time, just on the back, just a little bit.
So that's why, you know, I found this potion that you can just kind of like put in the water, add some stuff to the water and spray it. The problem is you can't do it. You had to redo it after a rain. So I was like, well, if it's going to rain, there's no point in doing it. So I'm waiting until the rain is done. So go out there and fumigate for the squirrel, if you will.
Does the potion include sulfur? What does this potion consist
of? Sulfur. It has like cayenne pepper and stuff like that. I think ultimately it makes the environment not so pleasant. You can put peppermints. Okay. I know 2 years ago I made this potion. I mean, it kept me out of the garden. So the smell is pretty strong and it's a huge deterrent. So I don't know if I have squirrel tendencies or what, but I know when I sprayed that thing, I was like, holy cow, this thing stinks. So I didn't even go out there. This is slightly different, but yeah, you can put like, actually you can soak cotton balls and peppermint and crap, I guess, and throw them around as well. And I supposedly works just as well. Yes. See, you get gardening tips right here on American Scouser.
You get everything, you guys. This is what a Monday brings you. It gives you everything you could ever ask for and more.
And the shit you didn't want to hear. The boots as well. Wait, Spain salts is good to keep asshole rodents away. Not just regular rodents, but those are assholes. Wait a second. What is Spain salt, I guess? Part of my ignorance. I don't know. I'm sure you know. You have Spain. Like, Jeeves, bring me Himalayan salt.
No, because our garden is 12 feet in the air. I don't need anything.
Oh, Epsom. Okay, Epsom salt I know. Spain salt, I thought it was some kind of a special salt.
You have to fly to Barcelona and actually take it from the coast.
Since we can't afford any of their players, we just grab their salt and come back, kind of a thing. But okay, let's go back to now that we got the gardening tips out of the way. So apparently they did come in for, and I wish we sold them because then maybe Fenerbahce could have grabbed Højbjerg because I really wanted him over there, and he wants to obviously France. 40 million. Are you shocked to hear this? Or was it a matter of you think, because it says weeks ago, was it a matter of you think at the time at least, maybe Slot saying, hold on, I didn't even meet the guy yet?
I don't know, because you have said, and we have said that there isn't a player that he doesn't know something about, unless it's a youth player that just hasn't really had the time to look over. But there's been tape, there's been footage. He is cognizant of these players, so I don't think you necessarily would have had to meet him. If anything, sometimes it's easier to sell someone that you don't meet, because if you meet him and you're like, wow, this guy's a fantastic person, he's so kind, he's wonderful, he's always smiling, he's always cheerful, and then you go and sell him, and maybe as emotionally, if you're invested in that player, in your player, you get a bit sad. So maybe it's easier to pull the trigger, if you will, if you've never actually met him. So I don't think there's I don't think that was the case. I think it was more so that I think the team just values him a little bit more than that. I think if you can get back what you paid for him or a little bit more, they probably they would be more willing to sell, I think.
That's fair. I mean, it could possibly be just like basically the money wasn't enough. Ryan says, why would we sell him with no replacement at all? I would sell him if I would. I mean, I guess I would sell him, but I would sell him if I'm Slot, if I was sure that he's not going to fit either way. There's no need to waste time. But I don't know. It could have been like a negotiating thing and stuff like that. I feel definitely this one is a negotiating thing where PSV came in for Sepp. They said 10. We said ha 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 and left the room. So what do you make of that? Is this going to eventually happen? He wants to play. He keeps saying that he wants to play. I feel like, and kudos to him. He feels like he is good enough to play, but maybe he knows he's not going to play.
Yeah, and he had a nice big season in Germany. He had a bunch of plaudits from there. So I think what we sometimes forget as well is that not every club is a big six club, so to speak, and can't just drop 30, 40 million on a player that they want. So 10 for PSV is a bit high because their record transfer, I think, is only like 15 million. So it's not like they are doing something that is meant to be insulting. They just aren't usually doing that high of business. But when you look at it from the Liverpool perspective, if this is someone that could potentially be within your plans for this year to have the next maybe 3-4 years, depending on how that pans out, maybe there is that potential there. There is the room there for him because Van Dijk at some point is going to have to go. As much as we talk about him adapting like Thiago Silva, we don't know how that goes. But yeah, I think if anything, if they offer 10 plus Bakayoko, that's fine. Bring him over. I'll sell him in a heartbeat. But yeah, I think Liverpool's probably looking at about 20. If you look at different center backs that have been purchased throughout this window, I think 20 would be more reasonable. It's just that PSV would be breaking their transfer record to do that, and I don't know if Sepp Vandenberg is the guy for that record.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, this one I definitely took as like the bidding has started, kind of an ordeal where they might go back and forth. It might be a sell-on clause, like you're saying. Maybe they'll be like, "Why don't you guys throw in a Bakayoko and then we'll throw in a Sepp?"
It's just a Bakayoko, no worries.
Okay, so Nick says, "Wait, Sparky says I take $15." Man, I want to go to the Sparky's garage sale. I kind of like envision this as a garage sale.
You can find some really good players.
PSV walks in and be like, "Hey, I'll give you like 10 million for that guy." We're like, "Man, get the hell out of here!" And then they'll come back with a better offer and stuff. Nick says he likes the white jersey you're wearing. Is that like Octopus United or
okay? So thank you. It's a band called Delta Sleep. They're based out of England, and they made 3 kits for their merchandise based off of 3 different albums that they made. And this is based off of one of their albums. So they have this really cool green checker patterned one, and then an orangish reddish one. So yeah, it's band merch at the end of the day. But I love this jersey a lot, and I appreciate it.
Does look cool actually. For a second I was like, is that Villa or something? But then I saw the octopus, and I was I actually was joking that was an octopus. It happened to be an octopus at the end.
And there is an octopus that kind of goes all the way around. You can see the tentacle. So it's octopus. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Probably especially tailored for the prince. That's what I was kind of assuming. I had this made.
This was my own idea. Yeah, maybe I should design the Liverpool kits. Who knows?
You know what, Jeeves? You know what I want? I want a jersey with octopus.
Go buy me that band, sir.
Some of your finest bands, please. There could have been a Dingus FC away kits.
I'm still gonna make it happen, Cersei. Don't you worry. I'm still gonna make it happen.
I know Dingus FC really, life got in the way of Dingus FC, and this is why we should not buy a club. It kind of like went down the drain. But the good news is, okay, let's talk about that. Kind of gives me an opportunity because I do need a lot of help with this from people over here. But we are doing this 24-hour podathon. We talked about it before. If you're a regular of the show, Nick says, maybe they won like 5 titles. Is that why there's 1 star on that jersey? Like,
I don't know.
Like 5 albums, 1 star for every 5 albums or something. But yeah, we are doing this podathon 10 through 11, starting at noon, going to noon. It's a 24-hour podathon, and part of the podathon will be us with Matush over here finishing our co-op season for FIFA, where if you are a subscriber of our Patreon, you will have seen it. But it will be we have 4 games left. We've been cruising through this. Started at Division 5 as a co-op, We've been cruising through it. We're in Division 1 in our first run over here in the first season in Division 1. We need 7 points from the last 4 games
Easy.
to win the title.
Easy.
I don't know about easy, but it should be interesting. So we'll be doing that live too. Probably as Galley's about to pass out, we'll do it sometime in the evening when people are starting to wear out. We're out of us as well. And the best part of that is probably going to be not only us playing, but if you already hate commentary, we're going to have Bickler and Galley do commentary and color commentary for those games. So that's going to be the thing. It's going to be hard to focus to play, I feel, when Bickler and Galley are making stupid comments in the back.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm just bringing this up for Nick because I learned what it means as I'm looking at the jerseys. So these are the 3 that they did, and it's based off the albums they put out. So this was the first album, so it's 1 star. Second album, they've got to put a 2nd star up there. And this is the 3rd album they put out, so they put a 3rd star. So that's what the stars represent, is which album they in chronological order. So there's that.
Okay, if these guys don't sponsor a freaking hour at this point after we plugged in their jerseys and the band for like the last 30 minutes, I don't know who. But
I can try. I'll do.
Going back to that, do really needs your guys Galley as play-by-play, Bickler as color. That's what I was thinking.
No,
you thinking the other way around?
Flip it, because if Galley does play-by-play, we'll never hear from Bickler.
That's wrong. But I do need your guys' help on this. If you're listening to us live, or if you're watching afterwards on YouTube or Facebook, we are still looking for sponsors. So do needs sponsors for the hours. We have a couple already, but obviously there's 24 available. And if we have items to donate to the auction, to the silent auction, where they have already, the foundation has sent us a lot of cool stuff, including the one that Jamie's holding right there. But yeah, if you do have items to donate, you can donate that. But hey, if you're a business owner, know somebody who knows a business owner, or who wants to sponsor it as their person themselves, they can hop on air for a few minutes as well during their hour, chat with us a little bit, wake us up, and whatever it takes. And then so hoping to raise a lot of funds on this. So really need everybody's help. Even if you're not able to do it, share the word. Maybe somebody will be able to do it. Share on your social media, whatever the case might be. But we do need some help with this, because we do have 2 weeks left and a lot of hours to fill still. Ideally, really would love to have somebody for every hour over here. Should be hearing from Jamie soon as well, hopefully. I think he's coming back from vacation Wednesday, I think was what Mike was telling me. So hopefully we'll hear from him with a video or something like that as well. Where were we? We were with Sepp. So Sepp will be gone, you think? What did you think of his game, by the way, when you watched him, for example?
I think it was fine. I think he was tidy. I liked his size. I think that's one thing that we always talked about when he was first signed, was that the size was always good. The pace initially didn't feel like it was there. I think we talked about how slow it took him to turn, but I feel like he's sort of grown into his body a little bit better. And I'm not too worried about the pace as much as I was before. And with the frame that he has, I think he makes really simple, quick passes. Nothing too doesn't make the game harder on himself, which I think is really nice. But again, it's one game against Real Betis, who we don't know if there is more pressure on him, if he does crack a little bit more than just
that's a good point.
What we saw.
I didn't like that though. By the way, I thought he was very good on the ball. One thing that I thought makes Van Dijk is not he wins the ball, but the way he wins the ball and gets it back into possession to start a counter and stuff like that. That has been, when he was really down, I think that was one of the biggest things that dropped too. He would just head it out of bounds or just clear it and stuff like that. The regular calm as you like Van Dijk is able to kind of put that ball into play, almost win the ball into play, as opposed to just make the other team lose possession, because there's a difference. So I think that's what I like seeing from Sepp. You can kind of tell why he played wide and stuff like that. He's a lot more comfortable with the ball. He's very comfortable making those short passes and stuff like that. So Players going alone makes them better. Yeah, I mean, I think he
Sometimes.
was never going to. Yeah, not necessarily. Definitely increases their value. He made a point of saying that he knows why Liverpool is asking for 20 because he knows he had a good season over there. And I know he mentioned it before that he didn't appreciate that, maybe the price being long. You think like he looked softened on that? Like, I get why it's so high. I don't know if somebody from the club told him, dude, if we ask for 10, we get 10. We ask for 20, we sell you for 14, 16 or something. Or do you think he's happy that he's getting to actually, be in this USA tour and show what he can do?
Yeah, I think the he had an interview. I think it was after the Pittsburgh game. I don't remember if it was after or before, but he seemed like he was genuinely content with being there on the tour, and I think this always goes back to when we have these conversations about transfers and people throw names out there about bringing people in or having the depth. Like, we forget that these guys, for depth specifically, some of these guys don't want to be third, fourth choice when they know they could be first choice in, let's say, 70% of other clubs around the world, right? So it's really hard to try and convince players to stay unless they're very passionate about being at that club specifically and making a mark on that club. It's very difficult to convince some players to say, hey, yeah, you'll get your chance in like 3 years if you just stick it out. And they're like, well, I could play literally anywhere right now instead. Why would I not? But I think Sepp maybe also had a nice realization that if Liverpool is putting that kind of number on him, that they do value him enough to want him to stay. And I think that's important too, because that gives you a sense of, I don't want to say purpose, but it gives you a sense of an idea that, hey, you are enjoyed, you're liked by this club enough to want to be part of their future plans. It's just sort of a difficult bit of a transition period where you have a couple guys in front of you that maybe are just a touch better and a bit more experienced. But with the amount of loan time he's had with all these different places, especially last year in Germany, he's had some good experience. So I don't know. It's not like we're going to see Kwanzaa and Sepp be the starters for Ipswich, but maybe there is a world where Sepp is a name considered for one of those first 6 fixtures, if depending on the fitness of Konate.
Yeah, I mean, look at Kwanzaa. I mean, he got his opportunity, so I mean, he can see that. I really think the biggest reason for the change of attitude was meeting Anand and knowing that he's a Liverpool fan and he's part of American Scouser. So he was like, whoa, wait a second now. What's happening? Maybe I will just stay. If Anand is a Liverpool fan, why the hell not? Or maybe he put in a transfer request the moment he met Anand. I don't know which way that went. As Anand is lurking around the hotel with his kid as bait, as we saw in the pre-match show. I don't know what came out of that. Celtic-Chelsea game this weekend at Notre Dame. Big takeaway is that Celtic fans are way better than Chelsea supporters. I could have told you that and saved you a trip, Ryan. But yeah, I mean, Celtic, you know what the funny thing is? I saw it showed up on YouTube and it said like demolished or dominance or something like that in the title. And, it was the game. I thought Chelsea smashed Celtic, but I just, clicked on it to see the highlights, to see who's playing and stuff like that. And no, they got like smashed. It looked like it was mostly on the counter, but either way, like Celtic was pretty critical. I was actually amazed to see. I don't know what you thought. I don't know if you saw highlights of any other games, but as I watched these games, I was actually shocked to see highlights where the second half there were still a lot of top players playing, like almost playing 90 minutes. Whereas, even with us missing so many players, like, you think they didn't bring kids to make up for those guys? Or like every team I watched, like Sterling looked like still was out there, walking, dancing, whatever he does as he runs in like the 80th minute and stuff like that. I was kind of shocked that they would put so much load on him this early.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think I was used to seeing like 30-minute, 45-minute stints, and that's it. You especially for the first or second games of the preseason, you don't want to go too hard, too much, too quick. So yeah, I was shocked to see that as well. I was also a bit shocked to see Trent's physique. I don't know if you saw some of the pictures.
I just see that, yes.
just like Jesus Christ, like the Mo plan or something. But it's also he's in LA, which I understand he's getting a break from after the Euros because he did play a little bit, definitely more than Gomez did and more than Graf did. But he's in LA, which is sort of annoying, knowing that he's so close to the team, but not close enough to join.
It's a mental vacation, dude.
I know, and he's on roller coasters with Jude, and he's signing Madrid jerseys and whatever the hell he wants to do.
He's signing Madrid jerseys. I didn't even see
I saw something someone had said. I mean, I'm not putting too much stock into it. I think Real Madrid's Real Madrid. It's one of those things. Him and Jude are close, so But
from what I hear, only he is close to Jude, and Jude doesn't have a lot of friends.
He keeps his circle close and tight. But yeah,
but only one guy can't fit in, like Trent's. And if he works out a bit more, even he's not going to fit.
Well, Trent's brother is in it too, so that's a circle. It's a triangle, but it's looking more like a circle. It just depends on how they stand. But yeah, I know Trent's on. He's on holiday, and he's still going to be working out when he can. It's more of a selfish thing of like he's so close but so far away.
I think it's like a player thing, like you're like, hey, I'm on vacation. Here's what we'll do. I'll take my shirt off. Does anybody have a soccer ball around here? I'll look like I'm kicking a soccer ball so that it still looks like he's working hard during vacation kind of thing, which I'm sure he is. I'm just joking around. But yeah, it should be interesting. Signing Madrid jersey is kind of bullshit, Ryan says. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I understand, like, that's what people are. People only have a Real jersey with them. They probably want Bellingham's signature. If Trent is there, can you sign too? He could say, who was it that Van Dijk said, nah, not signing that? I can't remember. This happened like last year or something like that. Do you remember? Was it Van Dijk? Am I remembering this wrong? Because I'm an old man and I mix things up. But I remember seeing something like that where somebody gave them is like, nope, I'll pass. He could have said no and pass. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this in the pre-match, I think. I agree with Saidu, especially Gravenberg. I think Gomez, you know what? Go take a vacation. I really thought Gravenberg should be, if I was his, if he called me up and said, what do you think I should do, dude? I'd be like, go to camp. Pull it, look at Jones. He's there. Go to camp. Go there early. You need to earn a spot in this thing. Archie says, I don't put too much stock in the jersey. I thought that he would say no for fear of looking like a dick. I don't think these guys care as much about looking like a dick personally. But I think, like Ryan says, especially with rumors, why feed the rumors and be like, no, but you're setting me up. And that's why I will be going out of my way to be a dick, because I feel like you're kind of setting me up, making me sign a Real jersey with all these rumors. And for the record, if Real is coming around the corner and giving like 150 or something like that, sold.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. 150. I even put a price on it.
Jesus, 150. I mean,
I don't think it would be 150 anyway, by the way. But
no, I don't think it'd be 150. But if it was 150, I have to say yes. I mean, you're not going to get that much for anyone else on the team. So,
and this is a great point. For example, he would not sign a United shirt, and I agree. He wouldn't care about looking like a dick. I think he would not sign that. Do you think he sees Real as like he has to know though, right? I mean, that's just maybe his agent was like, sign it. He's an extra 10 million.
Yeah, I mean, he's 25. He knows what the internet is. He knows what social media is. He understands the things that have been said. He understands that every single Liverpool post on Instagram is either bigoted people telling them to change the profile picture or telling Trent to sign a contract. So like he understands that there is that going on. So he's not a stupid kid, or he's not even a kid. He's not dumb. So yeah, I don't know if it's more so maybe it was just the heat of the moment as well. And who knows, maybe he's not thinking that there's a bunch of people taking pictures there and then wanting to spread it. But in today's world, if you're as popular as someone like Trent is, you have to know that there's probably a camera everywhere you go, which is unfortunate. You can't really live a life that you have that's private, but it comes with the territory of what you do for a living.
Is it fair to say if Trent was walking around by himself, he would be able to get away with it in LA? Not in Liverpool, obviously, but if it was in LA, I guarantee you Bellingham gets more recognition because of Real fans and they're more like multinational, if you will, as opposed to Trent. If Trent is walking around Disney World, apart from a couple of people saying like, "Hey, is that freaking Trent?" First of all, maybe it's out of context. So you're like Trent Disney World, and then you're like brain like short circuits.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like he would be able to get away with it more. But it doesn't help, I guess, if you're going around with your brother and.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he's with Jude too, right? So that probably has a play into it. I think if he's alone, he wouldn't be signing it though. I think it's just because he's around Jude. So that's I think it's more so
peer pressure.
Just like the camaraderie of like, hey, yeah, it's Jude. He's signing it. Trent, I'm signing it. Done. Like nothing. So maybe he didn't think too much into it. I don't know. It's. Maybe it's a big non-story, but again, if it was any club other than Madrid, we're not talking about it like we are now. But because of the rumors, because of the uncertainty, that's where we're at.
See, this is the kind of analysis that you get from Bickler that you're not going to get anywhere else. You know, at Disneyland, Bellingham. At Disney World, it's Trent.
I don't know which one's which.
Yeah, this is why you need Bickler in color commentary, though, so he can just come in and say something weird. But Bickler, Mateusz thinks if Gally is doing commentary, you're doing color commentary, you won't get a word in. It would be kind of like this weekend's broadcast, where I don't think they let words get in. Like, 10 seconds of silence is all I was asking for, but we would not get it. Roman says, I would have missed Trent. I want someone that plays defense and really tries.
Bad take.
The trying part is more what gets to me than anything else. Disneyland is in Anaheim. Disney World is Orlando. Well, that's not really analysis. Now you're like playing Wikipedia over here. Like,
all right. So Jude's more recognizable.
Makes a difference.
Jude's more recognizable in California, and Trent is more recognizable in Florida.
Okay, we'll go with that. By the way, I mean, this is probably right too. So maybe it's not fair for me to throw the 150 out there. But Ryan says for 150, I'm selling anyone in Liverpool. Are you keeping anybody if I give you 150?
Costas.
We need that kind of humor.
No,
in the
I think
room.
150 is.
Maybe 150 was not fair. If I made it 100, would it make it a bit more of a debate? I guess because Ryan has a point there. I don't think we're keeping anybody for 150. They were like, yeah, you can have it. We'll go.
100 is interesting. I do think there is still. Maybe only not. I get okay. So it depends on long-term plans on what this team looks like. Maybe McAllister wouldn't be the one I sell for 100, given what the system could look like and who would be a big part of that system. Maybe McAllister and I'm going to get destroyed for this, but maybe Szoboszlai as well, because I really do think Sobo in this system could look fantastic. So I think those would be the two that I wouldn't do for 100, but Mo I do for 100. Van Dijk I do it for 100. Yeah, it's Kwanzaa for 100.
But you're doing those guys mostly on age, then, right? You're kind of like basing your price more on age. Sounds like.
Well, I just said Kwanzaa as well.
Oh, you did throw Kwanzaa in there. I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Not a fullback in the world worth 100. Says if you're even if you're convinced yourself he's.
I don't know. I'll take Danny Carvajal because that dude wins every fucking trophy. So
I'll take Danny Carvajal when he's 50.
If 100 million gives me every trophy in the world, I will take Danny Carvajal. Apparently.
This is another good one actually. Alisson for 100.
Yeah. What?
I would not.
What? Really?
I would not. Who are you going to replace him with for less than 100?
Another keep.
You know what I mean? Like, who are you going to replace
understand.
him with at his level? He's going to be up there, and that's a huge part of any team's most important guy, I would argue, to help that defense. Because you can have the best defense if the guy behind him is not good. One, you're going to concede. Two, that defense is not going to play well because they know what's behind them is shaky. And it's a very, like, the goalie thing is a very, very, look at like what Onana, look at Kepa. I mean, I can throw so many names. It's even worse when you come with a lot of money and then not to be, because you're going to concede goals. It's like a confidence thing is like a really weird ordeal when it comes for a goalie, I feel like. So that's why I would not.
Yeah, but how could you can't. you don't know what that confidence level is like until you have the keeper in, though.
I mean, side is signing Oblak, so I mean,
But
he's probably going to
Oblak's-
cost 100 anyway. So we're back to where we were. I'd rather have Ellison as my goalie.
Well, no, Oblak is, I think he's older than.
No, they're both 31, but I don't
They're
know.
both 31?
I was just looking at it in the background to see because he threw the Oblak name out there, which who I love as a keeper. I'm just saying, like, what did that really get you? I mean, the whole point of taking 100 for somebody is probably being able to convert it to 2 players or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Or getting younger or something like that.
Maybe Diego Costa or the Georgian keeper, Marmarashvili. I think.
Yeah, I think you
those
put
lines.
that guy in goal, and he starts conceding a couple of goals. He's not coming with that.
But you get him for 50, 60, and you still have 50, 40 left. I don't know. I feel like maybe because goalkeepers have a longer shelf life that I didn't take enough time to really digest the 100 for Alisson, because I understand the points. I'm not trying to say that I hate him either, because obviously he's probably arguably the best keeper in the world. So I don't know, but if you can convert that 100 into something that you're confident in right away, then that changes things. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I mean, I guess if the club thinks that, I would not be confident with anything you convert it to, because I mean, Kelleher, as well as he's played, we talked about it over and over about, you can't replace Alisson, and it's not fair expectation. I think he's that kind of guy and because the shelf life is longer, you can say that about Mo, for example, as well, but how old he is and the age for a winger, whereas the goalies can go to like late 30s easily.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know about easily, but they can definitely go and be in form and be in top. So you still have at least, at the minimum, you have 3-4 more good seasons, I think, from like Alisson, like top level seasons. And after that, you still have this experience and stuff like that. So 150 for Alisson. Oh, this is great. This is like sir with the Notre Dame jersey in the back. Give us 150. What do you have? Yeah, 150. Okay, sold.
There's no club in the world that's offering 150.
No. I mean, going back to I don't think they're offering 100 even for Trent either. I think it's even Real. I don't think is offering that. I just think it's kind of makes it easier because who else would say, yeah, we're going to sign Trent in the world for Trent's agent to use as a bargaining chip? PSG. And do not tell me that, Trent is not trying to get as much money as possible, because he's like a local guy and stuff like that. I mean, he's pro, so he's going to try to maximize. And if you're his agent, you have to put other suitors on the table to be able to increase your value in the negotiations. Sure. So you can't, who is going to spend that much to get that?
PSG is the only other one, just because they have the money. I don't know. But yeah, I get it.
Only 3 fullbacks that really wow me in attacking sense. Whoa, you went into the history too, though. Alves, Marcel. I can throw Roberto Carlos in there. Cafu in there. Yeah, if you're going that way back to like Alves and stuff, which I don't know, maybe it's not that far back. Maybe we're talking a decade or something like that. I could probably make a longer list before I put Trent in there, because I think Trent is partially a product of the system in some ways. But like I say, you watch this game this weekend, as great as I thought Bradley played really well, but there are some balls, situations that Bradley got into, and I feel like, man, if that's Trent, we're getting an assist out of one of them at least. He's putting the ball. Not that Bradley put bad balls in, but that's what I think makes Trent special. As much crap as I give him defensively, if he's going to get in that situation, he's going to put a quality ball in there that is going to result in a goal. Even if it's an own goal or something like that, he's going to put the ball in a place where it's going to be really dangerous to even clear and stuff like that. Sparky keeps saying he's going to go on the free. I just don't think that's the case. Trent has won everything there is to win at club level. Wouldn't blame him if he wanted a new challenge.
The new challenge can be winning 4 titles in a row. I don't care. He stays.
The new challenge can be winning without Klopp, or the new regime, starting a new dynasty.
And what kind of a challenge is it to go to Real Madrid after they just signed Mbappe? They just signed Endrick. They have the best player in the world in Jude Bellingham. They have Valverde. There is no challenge there. The challenge there is not succeeding. That would be impressive. And then imagine the shit that Trent would get from the English media if he goes to Real Madrid. and he does a Harry Kane where they don't win anything,
Yes.
Jesus Christ, that would be.
Yeah, you want a challenge? You go to Spain for Getafe or something and see if you can win.
Yeah, there's your challenge. Yeah.
Try the special and amazing fullback. We just need the midfielder to cover his ass. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I say, as I watched this game this weekend, I kept seeing like where Bradley was on the pitch, and kind of you can already tell it's going to be very similar to last year, I think. So he's still going to be right back, but when we have the ball, we really crowd that midfield, and he's going to be there to kind of like, like part of the build-up play and stuff like that. And I think that does help him, but at the same time, we kind of saw that a little bit for England, right? Where he was in the middle of the pitch. And I still don't think Trent is as effective with his passing unless he does not want to receive the ball with his back to the goal. He has to, he's special when he has that vision, because once he has the vision, he sees a pass, he has the quality to put the ball there. A lot of players can't see the pass, but it's a matter of putting the ball where you saw. Getting your feet to agree what your brain is seeing. Trent can do that, but I think it's important that he gets the ball facing the team, like facing the goal, as opposed to with his back to the goal.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, there is room for him then at this club. I think Slot's going to do whatever he can to make it work. And as much as we like Bradley, again, we have to pump the brakes sometimes a bit and not expect that. Every younger player that shows a flash of potential is going to be the next best world-class player at this position, because we've been burned by that time and time again. But I'm never going to sit here and say I don't want someone to succeed. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how much growth you potentially damage by having Trent and not having Bradley play. That's also an interesting dynamic. I don't know. I'm glad I don't have the job, and no one would want me to have the job. So we're all glad.
Yeah, I think it goes back to I think I can't remember who was saying it, but in terms of like trying, I think it was like Roman. I really want to see the new Trent's, the attitude that it is Roman. Because I think we're going to kind of see this regime change can really help his mindset change too. Because I did feel like he was more blah. When he played, he's hanging out with Gakpo and stuff too much, has that Dutch thing going there. But yeah, he just played especially defensively, you could kind of tell that he didn't care. It's almost like, so might as well play him in midfield because I'm not going to play defense kind of a thing. That's the vibe I got, but we'll see how that changes with Slot. We'll see how that changes with the contract and all that kind of stuff too. Sergi says Mateusz has just listed the new Galacticos and questioning why anyone wouldn't want to go to them. I don't think we're questioning why people would not want to go to them. We're questioning how it's a challenge. It's one thing to say, oh, it's going to be great, we're going to kick everybody's ass, it'll be fun to go there, but you're not going there saying like, you know what, I want to see if I can take Real Madrid to the next level. Like, what is the next level? They're winning every goddamn thing there is in front of them. So that's not really a challenge, if you will.
Also, just saying it out loud, just recently, 5 minutes ago, thinking of Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham, and Valverde. How is that? It's just crazy to me right now in this world to have those five together on one club. That's insane. It's actually insane.
Sparky says going for the weather, and let's face it, can you guys blame him? The weather thing, I don't know.
I don't know. It's 100 degrees in Madrid right now. I was on the weather app yesterday, randomly scrolling through, and I had Madrid saved because we had been there in February, and they're in a severe weather, like a heat index watch or whatever the case, because it is ridiculously hot there. So I don't know if you'd want to be sitting in 3-digit.
I don't know, man. You go to England, love England and everything, but the weather, that really got. Then again, I'm in freaking Chicago now, but this is basically when I was young and used to Mediterranean weather, like Istanbul weather, where it's gonna get hot as hell at times, and it's gonna get cold. You're gonna get snow and stuff like that too. But I remember just like going there when I started like college in like London and stuff. That weather got to me after a few months when you like open the curtains and it's like today, almost every day it started getting to me. But then again, I came over here and then I was like, yeah, London wasn't that bad. Weather-wise, once I see it go in the negatives in freaking Fahrenheit, I was like, yeah. Nick says it's not really. Yeah, it is not. It's just kind of like it sounds like a ridiculous FIFA Ultimate Team where they,
didn't even include Jude in that sentence either.
Yes, like they bought a bunch of packs and they just put this team together and stuff like that. But that's why they play the games. And I think maybe in a league you're not going to. The only catch is, and that's why you need a guy like Ancelotti. I mean, when he goes, the point is being able to have those. That's not as easy to have those guys playing together well. There are a lot of egos of people there who think they're the best in the world, and probably they are the best in the world in their position. So trying to be able to get those people to play together, you need a solid guy in charge. And if they lose that, the drama is what can only collapse that team. I really think the Mbappe thing was unnecessary for them, and that drama could cause them give a negative, or maybe this is me wishful thinking, but I think that guy brings so much ego and drama with him. When he walks in as a guy who's been there and won everything already without you, if you come in with an ego, I can take that the wrong way. If I'm like Vinicius, Valverde, Rodrigo, and stuff like that, we're like, dude, we were already winning. This is no thanks to you. You just join the gang afterwards. You're still going to go through initiation kind of a deal. That's the only thing. Maybe, like I say, wishful thinking for me. Yeah, I mean, he's that kind of guy. You need that kind of a dude. I mean, I hear like Arda has talked about, Arda Güler has talked a lot about, his time there with the injury, didn't get chances. He did kind of like throw a fit a couple of times and stuff like that. But like the stuff he says about Ancelotti, you can kind of tell he not only understands how to deal with those guys that are really, 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 really good. He can also deal with all these guys that are signing 17, 18, 19 years old who are the future and kind of keep them in check, because those guys come with egos too, because they've been the best throughout the levels as they go up. So, I mean, is that the only hope we have really for Madrid not dominating everything?
It's just an internal blow up from the locker room.
Yeah,
probably, because to tournament competitions, they're going to be pretty great. It's the league, like you're saying. If they take any bumps, it's going to be in the league, because it's just a long, grueling, 38 match league campaign. But as good as they were in tournaments already, I mean, I just can't imagine them being any worse unless Mbappe brings in a lot of internal turmoil. But like you said, as long as Ancelotti's there, I don't see that happening. Because I don't think he's afraid to bench Mbappe if he needs to. Like, he's that kind of manager who's like, if this isn't working out right now and this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do.
And does it help that it's his, like this is last season? What are you gonna do? Like fire me, kind of a thing. So he's just gonna keep going.
Walking around with a cigar.
He was shit at Everton. I think that shows how shit Everton is more than what Ancelotti is. And he couldn't just went out to sneaked out the back door as like Everton were like, so who are we signing? Hey, where did he go? Like, and then he just he's like, I'm gone. This is bullshit over here. You guys have fun with this, and he just left. So I don't even know why he took that job, to be honest with you. Like with his career and stuff
he was really bored.
Right?
Really bored.
Talking about asking for see, that is taking a challenge, Sergi, is trying to go to Everton and winning. And he found out the hard way. He was like, who do you guys have over there? Yeah, I'll come over there. You could also sell us Rodrigo or Rodrigo. Rodrigo says. Ryan can't type. All that's groundhog chasing this morning is making a lot of typos. I mean, he can help us out in many ways. I mean, God knows they have enough young talent over there to share. But Wednesday is the next game now. We're going to wait for that and see. I'll be back tonight with the gang. We'll probably talk about a little bit about the game and what we talked about, and then we'll do the 24-hour plans. Maybe we'll pick Strauss, who's going to be the commentator, or who's going to be the color commentary or something like that. Rodrigo is just Rodrigo with sunglasses on this. Yeah, Bickler has to be color commentary. The more we the comments I read from Bickler. So it's a Monday, grooming day. Are you taking the octopus out to get groomed? What are we doing?
No, today is a fully off day. It's actually going to be a preparation day for the road trip that I'm taking with the wife at the end of the week. We will be at the South Carolina game against United, and hopefully putting on as many people onto American Scouser as possible.
Yes, because
Otherwise, I'll be
yeah,
fine.
if you want American Scouser coasters, see where the Royal Chariot is, because that's where Mateusz is going to be with Michelle. They're going to ride into town. That's why they're leaving today, because they're going to ride over.
We wouldn't make it on time if it was any other way.
But yeah, he'll be over there. So if you want to meet a true life prince, this is your rare opportunity. Go to the game in South Carolina. That game is for Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday. So it'll be interesting. I really thought it was such a waste to charge people an arm and a leg and not fill a stadium. I know it'll be different this Wednesday and the Saturday game you're going to, because it'll be more splits in terms of fans. I'm assuming there are not a lot of Real Betis fans running around the Pittsburgh area. But knowing that, they should have probably priced it accordingly, and they would have probably gotten more Liverpool fans there as well.
It's the U.S. and I know people will pay for tickets because they have been doing it forever.
I guess that's true. That's true too. But yeah, it'll be like I think you guys will have fun. That should be. And I don't know. Those games are going to be interesting. There'll be more guys back, so we might see actually more players. I know like Jota was just back and stuff like that. So I don't know by then they will play. You might be able to see them maybe. I mean, I know you're such a
yeah. I'm going for Jota specifically. Yeah, that's me.
You would come out, I can see you over there like Michelle holding a sign saying like Jota, please sign my jersey like that at the end of the game. So that should be interesting.
And then me standing there like, I don't know this woman.
But yes, you want a coaster? Go find this guy wearing his octopus jersey around, and then you guys can like. You're probably wearing a Liverpool jersey. Which Liverpool jersey? My money is on the tan one. Which one are you wearing?
You know, I looked at that one yesterday and I thought, is this the one? But I don't know. I think it's because it's going to be so hot and humid. I don't want to wear the tan because you're going to see the sweat stains pretty easily, I think.
See, only like a fashion guy like you would kind of.
It's not fashion. It's just.
You're not going to see it on the red?
Comfort. Depends on the red, maybe. I know.
Fine details.
Michelle's going to be wearing the 18-19 home kit, the one that they won the Champions League in. But I don't know yet. I'm still trying to decide which one.
The white one but the white one is going to show stains. I mean, you can't win.
If anyone has any suggestions on which one I should wear for the Saturday, you guys let me know.
Which jersey do you want to see the Prince in at the game? Because that's gonna maybe like do you have the bright orange one or the toxic green? Or
I don't know if I want to stand out that much though.
Well, that's why, so that people can look for you to get coasters. I was gonna say, so you can stick out in the crowds wearing the toxic green or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that, I think.
It'll be interesting, but yeah, go find this guy. And your New Balance kit, says Sparky. But yeah, go find this guy if you want a coaster. He'll be carrying them around and throwing them like frisbees at people making it rain with coasters instead. But have a great week, everybody. I'll see you guys tonight with the gang, 7:00 Central, 8:00 Eastern. Do not forget about getting us sponsors for the 24-hour podathon. Need your help. Spread the word. Let's get some sponsors in. But have a great day and a great week, everybody. Take care.